The left is playing for keeps.
Welcome to An Exile. I really like Ron DeSantis. I like Trump for the fight. I like Ron DeSantis for the issues. I think he's smart. I don't know if it's going to work.
If you look at what happens in 2024, if the Democrats are able to sweep all the offices, President, Senate, and House, what will they do with that power? They will try to pack the U.S. Supreme Court.
The left is out for power to gut you. Now, Ron DeSantis has absolutely the right thinking. I just don't know if this is a winning issue. I wish it was.
They will try to abolish the Electoral College.
He's dead on. You'll find hundreds of articles of all their top thinkers trying to get rid of the Electoral College so that small town America has no say in American leadership.
They will try to make Washington, D.C. a state so they get 2 left-wing senators virtually for life, and they will try to eliminate voter ID across this country and mandate ballot harvesting in every state of the union.
All of this is designed for Democrats to take over power, which is true, but I don't think this works on the average American. This does work for Ron DeSantis's base. The big two that both Trump and DeSantis have to hit is crime and the border.
But even people that aren't terribly political, how many American families are sitting at the dinner table saying, oh man, I wish we could just mandate ballot harvesting across the U.S., or I wish we could get rid of voter ID. No, they're talking about crime and education and inflation and all these other important issues.
There's important issues that the general voter will not think about, like packing the court, which is to negate all of the conservative majorities that we have now. They want to expand it with a bunch of liberal justices to, nullify Clarence Thomas.
So that's not an agenda that's speaking to the aspirations of the average American. It's an agenda that a political movement is pursuing to try to lock the conservative half of the country out of power, to try to keep our voices from being heard in the affairs of our country.
Remember on the last video, which I did for Trump, dealing with his main messaging, the biggest take home from Trump is he's angry. That's it. He's angry. And you look at DeSantis, he does not come off as angry. I think he comes off as smart. I don't think smart plays when you're in a culture war.
President Reagan said that freedom's 1 generation away from extinction. It's not passed along in the bloodstream. It needs to be fought for. And I always appreciated that quote, but for most of my life, I thought it was a little bit over the top. I thought it was a little bit hyperbole because, we're Americans. Isn't freedom just in our DNA? Could we really lose freedom over 1 generation? Well, if you've been around and followed what's gone on the last 4 or 5 years, I think Reagan was right. Our freedom is fragile. Our freedom needs people to stand up and fight for it.
I just never heard a fighter say, I need to stand up and fight. He's talking about it. He's thinking about it. It's not his first nature. Trump, it is his first nature. That is his great strength. I disagree with way more issues on Trump than DeSantis. But even though I think DeSantis is right, I don't think he'll fight. And that's my big problem with the conservative movement. And that's what I love about MAGA, is the conservatives have been smart and right for so long, they will not fight. Trump is wrong on more issues, but I'll get more of my issues passed because he's willing to throw a punch. That's why I love both DeSantis and Trump. I'm okay with either one being president, but I lean towards Trump. I'm going to let the primaries play out, and I'm going to follow both candidates. I'll give you the positive and negative I see from both sides. I'm Doug in Exile.